Hey, this is Mr. Ruthier. Welcome to part 2 of our Access lessons. Okay, if you've closed the sheet, tut, you should have that thing open. So open it up in Access if you accidentally closed it or anything. And we're going to be in this table. The only table we have is the ticket tracker table. We are currently in the datasheet view. Let's change over to the other view. Let's see. Actually, we were in design view, sorry. Let's go to datasheet view. And what we can do here is we can adjust the column widths a little bit so that everything fits. We should be able to read the entire thing here. So let's just make everything just a little bit wider. And there we go. And then after you change these things, you need to save it. So we'll hit the save button. Okay. What we're going to do is let's put in a sample record. So we've got a, we're going to pretend we have a new case number. New. I'm just going to hit enter. And it's going to go to the customer name. And let's put a name in. First name Claire. Second name Redfield. You don't have to, if you spell it wrong, it doesn't matter. It's not a big deal. All right, well, let's make the associate's name Leon Kennedy. I'm not sure if you recognize these names or not, but they're all from something. Incident date. We'll just make that today, February 2nd. And, I guess I didn't make this one long enough here. All right, incident details. Okay, let's just put something vague in here. All right, something happened. Very nice. And then the incident resolution was, hey, we helped you fix it. We fixed it. And the case status, let's make that closed. Okay, and then I hit enter or tab. I can tab between these fields too. And what happens is it goes down to to create a second record. Now, some stuff about this. This really isn't a great way to do data entry. There's a better way to do it, which I can show you later. And something else we should point out here. A couple of these things. For example, the incident date. If this incident date is always going to be today, then you can make it so this always has today's date in it. So that's something we can fix, because you don't want people to enter data in if they don't have to, because every time somebody touches the computer and starts entering data, there's a chance they're going to mess up and make mistakes, get messy. One other thing I want to point out over here is the statuses. We could have again, we could have the person type in the status every time, but why not make like a little drop-down list here? Because we're probably going to have closed, we're going to have open, and we can have escalated. So we'll have like 3 statuses, and maybe we have more, maybe we have 5. But we can just type those in and then we can choose them. And again, that limits our error rate. Let's say I wanted to run a report. Let's say we've got thousands of these tickets that we've created, and I want to run a report on all of the open ones. And if Joe Schmo goes in here and types in open, and he types it in accidentally O-P-N-E, well, that's going to be a problem, isn't it? Because I won't see that record. Okay. All right. So let's go back to our design view. Design view. And you can see our, we're back in design view. And what we can do here is we can kind of address those 2 things I mentioned. Okay, let's say, here, let's go to the incident date. And we have it set up for date and time. And let's say we want this thing to always be today's date. Because, you know, customer calls you, the date they call you is the date of the incident, right? So what we want to do is we want to come down here. You can see I got date time. I should get like a highlighter or something, or better pointer. And then I can go down here to default value. And I can put in here DATE and then open parenthesis and then close parenthesis. You see what I did there? Date, left parenthesis, right parenthesis. And what that will do is it will force always it to be today's date. So that's a nice thing. And then we mentioned the case status. Let's go into the case status and let's change it so there's like a little list to choose from so you can never misspell things. Okay, to do that, let me see if I can remember how to do that. We're going to use the lookup wizard. And I'm going to click on the short text, and there it is down at the bottom. See the little wizard? In Microsoft world, a wizard is something that pops up, asks you a couple of questions, you answer it, and then it gives you the right answer. So let's click on lookup wizard. And now it's going to ask me, I want to look up, I want the lookup field to get the values from another table. We don't have another table for this, so let's go down to the second choice. I will type in the values that I want. That's all we're going to do, because we only got like 3. So what's the big deal if we type them in? Okay, I'm going to hit next. And now let's put in our 3 things. Okay, I've got open, and I'm going to hit enter. And I did it wrong. I'm going to go back. All right, I hit open. Now let's hit tab instead. All right, that works much better. When I hit the enter key, it went down and it looked for the button that was highlighted, the next button. So instead, let's hit the tab key, and you'll see that on the left. It'll say TAB there. The next thing, let's put in escalated in case they do something and we have to send it to a manager or something. And then I'm going to hit the tab key again. And then I'm going to put closed. And there we have our 3 fields, our 3 choices. Okay, now I'm going to hit next. And what label would you like for your field? And case status, that's probably a good one. Now, do you want to limit entries to the choices? This means I can only put in those 3 choices. Yes, I don't want them to put in something that they just make up. No, thank you. And this one down here, allow multiple values. No, we don't want that. Okay, so let's hit the finish button. And what do we have? We have, it looks the same. But it's not. See, if you click down here, see how it's in general, and then you switch to lookup, you can see down here, it only has these 3 choices that I put in. Okay, so that's pretty neat. All right, let's go back to the datasheet view and see how this works. I'm going to click on View, Datasheet View, and it wants me to save the table. Always save. Save, save, save all the time, folks. All the time. All right. Now notice what has happened. Anything interesting happen here? Boop, 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 boop. You can see the incident date is always going to be this lovely February 2nd. Well, let's put a new record in. And let's see. Who would be a good person to put in here? All right, how about Albert Wesker? And then the associate's name, it can be Leon again. And Kennedy. And then I'm going to go to the incident date and look at that. It just pre-populates it with today's date. So I'm hitting tab, by the way, in between each of these. And again, more stuff happened. We fixed it. And now notice the last one here, the case status. I got a little drop down arrow. And now I can choose between open, escalated, and closed. Okay, so we'll say closed on that. And you see how it's capitalized? We'll go open this other one and just do that too. Okay, very nice, very nice. All right, what should we look at next? All right, the next thing we can look at, let's look at the associate's name. Okay, the associate's name it's a little bit different than the case status. Okay, case status, if you to put a list in here means this thing is just never going to change. Okay, it's not going to hardly ever change. Associates, these are people that work for us. These guys might change quite a bit. You might have these people, you're hiring and firing them, every couple of months. So you don't want to have this manual list you have to set up every time. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a table for the associates. So let's see. Why don't we, let's stop right here, and then in video 3, we'll make the table for the associates. All right, so I'm just going to hit the save button again, and then I'm going to see if I can hit the stop button. Window Shift